What's going on, everybody, and welcome back. So in this video we're going to be continuing our turbo kit process. I have the stuff to make the turbo feed line and the return line, so I'm going to go ahead and use that stuff up right now. I'm just going to show you guys what I have planned. I've got a 60-inch feed line. I ordered like a 42-inch, and then I didn't think that was going to be long enough, so I ordered a 60-inch, and I hope that that will be long enough. We're going to be using the factory oil block-off plate. This truck did not have oil cooler lines on it, so it's a perfect candidate. There's just a block-off plate right above the oil filter on the pan section, so we're going to go ahead and remove that. I didn't think to buy a gasket. Hopefully we don't need one. Hopefully the stock gasket isn't too beat. If it leaks from there, then I can always get a gasket for it. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys this completed turbo kit. If you guys didn't see my last video, this is my turbo kit that I made for, I don't know, I guess I would say around $75. If you include everything from the flanges to the manifold itself that I bought from the junkyard, because I threw out mine. Normally you would have yours, so that's not even like included, but had to buy one. And then pipe I had lying around, clamps I bought, and yeah, the flange I had over there. So just all this stuff, and including welding gas, probably around $60 to $75. You could probably do it for like $20 if you had all of the flanges and if you had the existing manifold and stuff. So I'm getting my things ready, and I'm looking at everything that I have here, and I don't quite have what I need. I do have something that'll do a 3/4. They say an alternate size for this is 3/4. That also might be a little bit too big, so I'm hoping that it'll work, and I'll just have to thread it in kind of deep in the pipe thread. That's just my hope. I hope that it has enough bite. I know there's not too many threads that I'll be able to engage, since it's like only a thin oil pan. But you know, we'll see. Worst case scenario, I have to send the oil pan somewhere and have them weld it. It is what it is, but we're gonna see what we can do. So I'll show you guys what I'm up to down here. I've got my 1/2-inch pipe thread to 10 AN line fitting here, which is a nice fitting. I don't remember where I got this one from, but on Amazon, I think. And I got my drain line coming down here. I just have it kind of mocked up for now. I ended up making this one section here. I combined some of the black, because this pipe only fits in the black, and then this red thing, this red and blue one, is from another eBay kit I had for the Honda. And the problem with this one is it doesn't thread in that far, because this is a really beefy one. But it is sealed. I blew through it, and I can't blow out of it, and it's not a high pressure line, so it shouldn't leak. If it leaks, it leaks. I'll fix it, but I think it should be good. Maybe I'll leave a little bit of slack in the drain line for me to throw a better fitting on here that actually matches, two pieces that match. But otherwise, if it seals, I'm going to ship it. So you guys can see my drill bit here. It's all greased in the little channels here, in the grooves. So I loaded it up with grease in there, just because especially this was my first one. So I'm just going to line it up with what I made here and try to send this guy through. Alright, I'm almost through. I'm going to clean off the drill bit a little bit. This should be the last time here. That's it. We're through. Alrighty. So now we can move on to another bit size. Step it up. Alright, so I got the step drill bit taped, and it's taped where I can't go any further. I have it all greased up, so I'm just going to run it on low speed, try to blaze through this thing here. Hopefully all the shavings running up on the outside. I'm going to take it back out to try to clean anything off. So guys, I have been tapping. You can see my tap here is all full of grease. Been trying to catch the shavings that I can. There is a lot of shavings in the pan. I'm going to have to clean it out, flush it out. I'll figure out what I'm going to do later. But for now, I've been tapping it. But you guys can see this tap here, it just threads. And it keeps going down, down, down.
and I'm just trying to figure out the point at which I should stop threading this because I'm making it too big. Because it goes in pretty good now. It's got a good set of threads, but I still can't thread in my AN conversion here to 1/2 inch pipe thread, and it's 1/2 inch tap, and I drilled I think larger than what's supposed to be the hole, so why isn't it going in? But it's not falling in, and I just used the calipers to measure, and my hole here is like 0.728, and this is like 0.73 or 0.74 or something like that. So it is it's still too big for the hole. So you know, I'm just gotta keep working at it. I gotta make it bigger, and eventually this guy will thread in. Hopefully, that's the plan. So you guys saw me spinning the tap in there. Had to thread it in about this far. You can see at the point where I stopped threading in, that part that goes from like silver to the red grease, and that's just where it ended up stopping, and that's where it ended up threading. So now this guy fits in there. He did not before. I couldn't get him to start. So I got this thing to start, ran it in a couple of turns, started really well. So I left that spot bare, and then I threw Teflon on the rest of it. And now I'm just going to crank this guy home. I did clean out inside the hole. I definitely got a lot of shavings in there when I did the drilling. Less when I actually did the tapping itself. Didn't make as many shavings, and they stayed really close. So I just kind of used my fingers to go in there and dab all the little pieces up, and just clean it out the best I could like I did before. And that's that. So I'm going to go ahead and thread this thing in there, and anything else that is in the pan, I'll probably dump some oil in the top of this AN line when it's fitted on there. To see if it's going to leak, which it probably won't leak, but you know, just got to check. And also, I think it'll wash all the oil into the pan. I think I'll do it with the drain plug open and with the oil already drained out. So I should wash all that stuff out, and then we'll just run it for a little bit and cycle the oil a couple of times, you know, on a couple of short drives, and then I'll probably change the oil in the filter and then run it. And that way, hopefully we don't have any oil with any shavings in it going through the motor. So AN lines are pretty easy. I like to put some tape on the end when I cut it. Helps to keep the edges clean. This edge is all jacked up here. Don't mind that. This is the edge that I ended up using, obviously, because this is my line. But I tape up the edge here so you can see my tape line on there. So I know how far I'm pushing it in, and I can see it from the other side too. So I know about how far in I am, and I use the vise to help myself push harder, because you really want to push this in pretty far, and then you want this, when you tighten this, you want it to crank down on it and really get a good seal. This is not a pressurized line, but I also want a nice good seal on it, because I don't want it to leak, especially from the top. It'll make a mess right over the exhaust and everything like that if it's in that area. So yeah, I'd prefer that it didn't do that. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and just thread this side in. So I'll turn this over, and hard to do all this stuff with one hand, guys. You know the drill. But essentially, did it like this, and I will, you can see the line is in there, and I'll get this started threading. And then I don't have a nice set of AN wrenches or anything like that, so I just use a regular old crescent wrench, adjustable wrench, as you might call it. And this is on the largest setting, barely fits on this, but it will do it. So I'm just going to run this all the way down, and at the same time, you want to make sure that we're not running out down here at the bottom. We don't want to come out the bottom, so we got to kind of keep an eye on it and make sure that we're not pushing this line out, because if we push the line out, we're not going to make our good seal. So I'm just going to keep cranking on this and make sure that we don't come out. But I'm pretty soon I'm going to have to put the pliers, or rather the wrench on it. got it in there, guys. It looks pretty good. It definitely is going to seal. I got it all the way to the Teflon was starting to come out, and I cranked it really tight. Like, I was really wrenching on it hard. Any harder, and I'd be a little concerned I was going to slip off and wreck myself. So I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I think it's plenty on there. I could always throw a socket on there and try to crank it deeper if it does leak, but I don't think it's going to. If it does leak, it's probably going to be out of this fitting. So I threaded that on there pretty good. I'll crank that with a wrench at some point. But that's how it looks. It's not going to hit the balancer as long as I keep it zip tied at some point on the way up to the fan harness here. I think if I zip tie it, it shouldn't move too much. So this feed line is ICT billet. I got it off eBay. It was $40. I think the other one I bought was $20, and it ended up not being long enough. And you know, that would have done the job too. I've used the cheap eBay lines. I think I have one on the Honda, but honestly, I never bought like a nice line. This is really nice. I've never had something this nice as far as AN line in a 4AN size. I mean, like, the inside is so hard, you can't crush it. Like the other line, you could kink it so easily. This line doesn't seem like it wants to kink. It's a lot beefier. So it is kind of nice to get something that's actually a bit nicer, especially on something that I'm going to drive a lot and be a daily and all that. So it should be reliable. And this is a Russell fitting here. It's a 90 degree. And I actually had this lying around. I bought this for the Honda, and I ended up being the wrong thing, but I just kept it in hopes that I would use it someday, and I still had it, and I was able to use it now. It's a 4AN on this side and an 1/8" pipe thread on this side. So I just put some Teflon tape on this sise and make sure you wrap in the direction that you're going to be threading it, so when you're threading it, it doesn't loosen and rip the tape off. But I got this block off plate here. I think this was just a generic that I got off of eBay, but this block off plate here should work. I'm going to thread this in here, and then I should be able to use I guess the factory 2 bolts to send this guy into the stock location. So I'll show you guys where that block off plate is under the vehicle. So we're underneath the vehicle, and you can see right here is the oil filter, and directly above it is this little block off plate, where if you did have oil cooler lines on the vehicle, you would have cooler lines running forward here, but we do not. So we're going to go ahead and pull these 2 10s off and check the condition of this gasket. So I got off the factory block off plate, and you can see this one does not have the provision for the to be drilled. Some of them have like a thing sticking off of them. I don't know if that's on like only LS6 or what. Maybe you guys know, but this one does not have the provision to be drilled into. So that's why I ended up buying that piece that's now on the car. And it looks like the feed line is going to fit. I'll show you guys in a sec. But I do want to figure out this situation here with the oil restrictor. This is the one I got in the $20 kit with this kinked hose that was not going to be long enough. So I don't know. I was going to return it, but I might just eat it. I'll eventually use it on something to probably. Maybe not. I don't know. But it's only 20 bucks. And I need this right here and the gasket and this. So it is what it is. And if I do end up trashing this, I'm going to have to buy a new one, and that'll be the other one. If I buy another one, then I have this one. And then if I trash that one, I don't know. Either way, I would like to not have to buy another one. So I'm going to try to drill this out, because what I've been reading is that these turbos don't really need a restrictor. I definitely drilled out the one on the Honda. Not that big, I don't think, but this one I'm going to drill all the way out, and we're going to see. I'm going to put a nice fat drain on it, and we're going to let it eat. I don't want to starve it of oil, so hopefully this won't overdo the oil pressure in there and blow out the seals. The Honda does see a lot more oil pressure than this vehicle, though. I think this sees about, maybe 40 to 60 psi. The Honda sees more like 90 or 100 sometimes on a cold start. So, and that thing doesn't smoke at all, but it also hasn't blown up. So I think that thing's all set. But this one I'm going to drill out all the way, and we'll see exactly how this 4N line that's in there restricts the oil feed. It should probably do just fine. I don't think it's going to be too much, because we're going to have a nice 10 AN line with a 1/2" pipe thread going into the pan. Should be plenty adequate of a drain. I think that's should be plenty of oil for the turbo, and I think that it should be sufficient on the drain as well. So I'll take you guys over here and show you. Let me bring the max speeding rods, gasket, and the hardware from the other kit, and show you guys.
This is looking like over here. So yeah, this is the setup here. I'm gonna go ahead and try to do this while holding the camera. Basically, this is gonna sit on there like this. If we can find, there we go. It is pretty tight. Like, I really got to kind of pull on it, and I'm twisting it a bit, but I'm hoping that it'll loosen up a little bit. Hopefully it's not going to be an issue. I don't foresee it being one. It is a high quality line. It's not like it's kinked anywhere. I'm going to go check underneath what it looks like, but hopefully we have enough. I could always try to run it along the back of the motor, and maybe we'll have a little bit more room not running it under the intake, but I do like this method. It does look pretty clean. What's up, guys? So sorry it always ends up being like this. This is me filming the outro. I always forget to film outros just because I'm so into the work and I'm just not thinking about anything else, but I've been really going hard on this project, trying to get it done, and I'm almost there, so I'm pretty pumped. I didn't get everything filmed, but I do have a couple more videos coming out with some more footage that I took just doing the process here, and I'll try to just lump it in and make it a good video. But otherwise, I got the truck started yesterday, so it started and ran. It's got the muffler on it. I gotta show all that progress of all the downpipes and everything, but yeah, I do have more videos coming out soon, but I just wanted to give you guys a sneak peek on everything here. So here is the turbo itself. All the intercooler piping's run, all the bumpers on and everything. Intercooler looks pretty sweet in there. You can see it all behind the grill. It looks pretty nice. Got my coolant jug here out of a Mazda. Seems to be working pretty well. The level looks pretty good so far. I just started it and ran it for maybe 5 minutes. Downpipe, wideband, all that stuff. So the feed line I ended up running. You saw in that last clip, I was running it through the intake. I quit that and I ran it on the outside. Much more slack. I feel much more confident about this. Looks like it worked in our little run yesterday. No leaks here, no leaks there. Still got to look down at the bottom where the drain line was. Make sure there's no leaks down there, but everything's looking really good. I'm going to show you guys in here and get my light. But yep, I got all the pipes done. Everything's heat wrapped. I got my wastegate on there, VS Racing gate, goes all the way down, and these clamps do leak a little bit. I'm gonna need to try to do a little bit of high temp RTV or something like that, because I think I did get a little warpage going on, but we'll try to fix that. Otherwise, everything seems really good. Nothing's leaking on my coolant lines. Everything looks like it did really well. No oil on the floor, so test run went really well. I think I should be test driving it pretty soon, so stay tuned, guys, and I got all kinds of little stuff to show you that is coming up soon. So thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with the build, even though it's been kind of sporadic. My filming has not been the best, just because I've been trying to hustle, get stuff done. But overall, I'm really happy with the way it's coming out. It's going to make a sweet daily. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the process. Stay tuned for more. Don't forget to subscribe, and check out some of my other videos, maybe on the Honda. And I hope to get back to work on the Honda soon. As soon as the truck's done, I'm going to start working on the Honda. So, gotta get that going too. But the Honda's just been an awesome daily. I'd like to actually make a video on dealing the Honda, just because it's been so good to me. And I really have had just zero problems with it. It's been awesome. So, really thankful that that car's been holding up while this truck's been down, because I've had this truck down for about 3 months now. So, yeah, three months is a long time, but I mean, it's a lot of work, but at the same time, I'm spread thin. I'm busy doing other stuff too, so it's been rough trying to get it done, but now seeing it all come together and finally running is awesome. So can't wait to drive it. I won't keep you guys any longer. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.